Okay, for some reason I have to do this. And whoopah, hello, welcome back to the streams that I do occasionally. It is 2021. I took a holiday break a few weeks ago, and I stopped streaming video games because I wanted to take some time off for the holidays, and then I decided to take a little extra bit off to finish my most recent video, which is now out. I am going to play a game today. And it seems like even Streamlabs is actually working the way it's supposed to, for once. So hopefully it doesn't freaking crash. First of all, let's do some volume checks. Let me know if the volume is too high, too low, if you can hear me, if you can hear the game. There's some music going on. Everything should be going well. I'm doing great. The channel is thriving. For once, and I wanna play videos game. I want to play videos game, and I will play videos game. And the way I will play videos game is by fixing something in the thingy in a little bit. Let me just put the stream on the Discord server. I want to stream on the internet. I'm in a good mood. No. Wrong. Wrong. No. I'm Mia Mulder. I am not Tristan. I love Tristan, but I am not Tristan. I am Mia Mulder. With the syrup. Okay, hello. I really liked my most recent video. Thank you. I liked it too. Hello everyone. Today we're going to play a game called Suzerain. I have not played it, but it seems very interesting. And it seems like one of those games that is easy to start with because I want to stream for a long time today if I can. I may take a bit of a food break when one's night sets in, but I want to stream like a lot today, and I kind of want to try out this. It seemed like it's right up my alley. This is where you are it's a text RPG, I think. It's a text-based RPG where you play the Prime Minister or President or King or Suzerain or something of a republic. And it has a lot of stuff. Mia Mulder, November 20. I don't know what that means. 40%. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what 40% means. What? Anyway, I'm going to play this game. So I'm first of all going to do a small transition into the menu. Hey, thank you for the sub. Thank you, Sonic Bread, for subscribing. Do we get a peek of the bastard today? Maybe, probably, if she starts screaming. It's alright. Happy 2022 over. Some snugs, nah. Maybe. No one knows. What's going on? We're gonna play an RPG game. I have tried it out a little bit. I have no idea what this game contains. So we're gonna discover this together. If it's a bad game, that is something that we'll just have to deal with together. It's very dark. I apologize. Let me see if I can fix that. Can we get some music? Hang on, let me bump the music like a little bit. This game is very new. It came out very, very recently. Sorry, if you don't know, I'm a bit slow right now because if you don't know, I have a podcast, a medical history podcast, and we have just recorded our most recent episode, so I'm just dealing a little bit with that right now. I'm streaming early. RPG. You can laugh at bad games. Yes. 1:16. It's new. That is typing. I have no idea. I have a podcast. I do have a podcast. It's called Leech Fest. It's on Spotify. It should be on iTunes podcast now too. Let me just fix the vision. Usually I start streaming. Oh. Usually I start streaming at 8 o'clock my time. It is now 7:20, so I'm a bit like slow. So you'll be patient with me. Once we get started, we'll get started. Okay. It is 90. Hang on. Okay. And there, okay. 1908. Kingdom of Swordland. You opened your eyes to this world I came from. And so we have some choices. We can either come from a wealthy family, a middle-income family, or a poor family. I'm going to roleplay as myself to the best of my ability. So how long do I usually stream for? Usually like an hour, 2 hours. Usually 2 hours, but it depends. Sometimes I take a break to go to the store. If I'm in a bad mood, I usually don't stream as much. Something like that. It's more meme elder. Yes, you can get a lot of meme elder. So we're going to start as an impoverished family in the city of Dare. Your parents named you Anton. As the only child of a farmer, you spent your childhood among wheat fields. Life was not easy. You were too poor to afford a good education. The Rain family was caring regardless of the economically dire situation. Your parents always did their best to support you. The year passed. September 9th, 1923. During a history class at school, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. You heard a loud commotion outside. As everyone figured out what was going on, the principal announced the historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Swordland was born. How old am I at this scenario? So it's 213. I'm 15 years old. Let's say that I am worried. Yeah, Anton Mulder. I am somewhat worried. A little bit. I don't think these choices matter that as much as like the political choices I'll do later. So we'll see how it goes. After graduating, you passed the university exam with high marks. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies. You chose law at Holsword, economics at Lachhaven, or history. History at the Dare University of Culture. Fuck yeah, history. We're doing history. Of course we're doing history. During the first year, you attended a lecture with David Vichy. He was a well-known diplomat from the foreign ministry and the son of the president. After observing the hall in silence, he explained why realpolitik is important for successful foreign policy. He argued that a strategy based on principle and material factors would be more successful in reaching Swordland's ambitions. Realpolitik has its issues. I'm gonna be I don't know where that link goes. I'm not gonna click the link. I don't know. Hang on. Just give me a little minute. Okay, we're back. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so realpolitik is, I mean, grossly oversimplified. Realpolitik is the basis that you don't follow your... that you don't base your political decisions on ideology or like moral principles. It's something, it's that you do your politics, mostly foreign politics, on what is practical and what is pragmatic. But it has the criticism of not being very ambitious and not actually like doing anything. It's very like for pro status quo in practice, even though in theory it is something like most people would do. Yeah, Irish DC 95 says it's very good. So like it's something that like in principle is good, which is why I'm like tempted to pick this one. But it's something that in practicality is actually not super great, because it does have the ambition of like, it doesn't work that well in practice for a lot of people. You were great on the what is your problem for? Thank you, I had a great time. And thank you Hazardius for subbing and saying what? Listen, and that Fragile also subbing for Prime. Sorry that I'm getting like hella distracted. Hang on. Sorry. I'm gonna take one final break and then I'll be back like in a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do this for real and proper. Sorry that I keep getting like distracted. There's we're just having like podcast issues. It's fine. So I'm gonna question realpolitik a little bit because I don't think it's the best principle. Am I gonna do a podcast about how dangerous childbirth was? Maybe that could be interesting. But I'm gonna question. I'm gonna be a question. I'm gonna be one of those students that's like. May 22nd, 1927. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening ahead of the first election. Many were in shock as the uniformed men created a security cordon and started arresting the teachers. A group of students started gathering in protest, along with your best friend Peter Vectern. Plant is, by the way, plant is right here. I decided to. I fucking love protesting. I protest. I'm politically active. Fuck cops. One of the officers made a loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Luderin declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms. I joined the students that slowly marched towards the large group of soldiers. And suddenly the soldier charged! A student fell and was trampled as everyone started running away. I held my ground. I've done this in real life. Not against the military, but against cops. The soldiers beat you relentlessly. That did not happen to me. It was a gloomy year. October 10th, 1927. The coup split the students into two groups and caused frequent fights. Torture and imprisonment of any opposing voice became a daily routine in Dair. You didn't want to stay idle, and you decided to join? I mean, okay. If I'm going to, sorry, what? No, be Kissinger. I'm not gonna be Henry Kissinger. Is that a spider plant? It is a spider plant, yes. I don't know if that's the Latin name for it. Found the economics in the game is too simple. And this is funny, so I remembered. I haven't seen that review. You want to stay idle? You don't want to stay idle and decide to join. I'm gonna join a student council. Debate groups do fuck all in university in my experience. Human rights groups do also fuck all. Student councils at least do something, even if it's super fucking limited. But that may have just been my university, so I'm gonna join a student council. Mia Stream! Yeah, it's Mia Mulder, fuck yeah! The council was focused on increasing the student involvement in the campus, along with partaking in the budget. Good. Through active participation, you gain budget management and leadership skills. In one of the meetings, Peter introduced you to one of his friends, Monica, who was a volunteer for the Swedish League of Women. You were immediately attracted to... Oh. Am I a big thinker? Am I simping? Or am I Twitter simping? Or am I actually like a normal person? What game is this? This is Suzerain. I'm gonna put diligence. The politically charged environment led you to... Okay. I didn't expect them to give me like a left-right choice here immediately. I don't know how I want to do this, because apparently you have a lot of options of where to go, but I don't fully know how far that goes. green leaf leafy. Oh, that's cute. Either there's a part of me that's like, because we used to be a kingdom, right? Can I become a monarchist? I love monarchism in games. I love it. Can I be a monarchist? But if I can't be a monarch, because I'm afraid if I have to like join the nationalists in order to do that. Or I can join the socialists, which is like, yeah, but then obviously that's not that, and that's probably gonna lead me down a communist route, which I'm fine with. I'll gladly play socialist Sordia if that's something that I can do. Or do I stay away? Am I omnicentrist? Because I don't know if this is a centrist point. Is this a centrist option, or is this like I do what I want? I am an independent, but can I still be a socialist if I do this? I don't know. I don't want to Google options here already. I'm gonna stay away from any political organization and see if that leads me down something interesting. The game, I think the game would be a bit Liberal. I feel like the game would be a bit poor, in my opinion, if that somehow excluded me from this choice of my youth organization, excluded me from any other choice in the game. Remember when Obama had written me to mark them for going just to impress girls in university? I do remember that. June 2nd, 1928. The radio relayed that the communist general Rickard surrounded Lutheran and his troops, demanding their surrender. They refused. The heavy fighting broke out across the country. You just couldn't believe it. The army was fighting amongst themselves. Swordland plunged into chaos. I like that you get like a timeline. The Sword Civil War. The clashes escalated into full-blown civil war. The horrors made you isolate yourself for a while. Monica helped you cope, and love grew between the two of you. However, it was a difficult time for love. The chaos must end. The charismatic colonel, 1929, Republic of Swordland. The charismatic colonel, Tarkin Sol, orchestrated a sudden coup and brought an end to the chaos. He wrote a new constitution and restored stability. The people saw him as a savior. He formed the United Swordland Party and ran as a presidential candidate in the first ever election. You vote. Oh no. Do I vote for the Swordland Party? Do I want the chaos to end? Yes or no? I mean, he is a new dictator, right? And he coups himself into power. He has control of the military. I don't support this guy. Like, he brings stability through violence, but he also ended that violence. He ended violence through violence. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think I like this guy. And he's the only option for who I can vote for? Nah, fuck this guy. Fuck. I don't vote for soldiers. Fuck this. I don't vote for soldiers. The USP won the election by a large majority. Well, yes. The voting card with one box. Is this even a real election? I don't know. After graduation, you kept seeing Monica and noticed her interest to marry. However, a letter arrived from the military calling you to fulfill your compulsory duty. It was time to serve my national duty. February 1930. Bergica region. A devastating civil war broke out in the neighboring country of Valen. The distinguished Major Josef Lancia ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. It was a very cold winter night when you began marching out of government outpost. You could see your breath. I hope that, by the way, are you enjoying my narration, or should I just like skip through? Because I think it's going pretty slowly because I'm reading slowly. But I like to think that I'm helping. Anyway, after several hours of marching through the snowy hills, distant noises were heard. Visibility was too low to confirm the source. The squad crawled forward in formation and found a spot to observe. A group of refugees had made it beyond the border's fence. Yeah, I can escort them back? What? The long pauses? Maybe not the long pauses. Narration dead on, keep on, like narration. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm gonna let them slip through. I like, yeah. After the patrol, Major Lancia arrived with anger and immediately relieved you of your command, calling you a disappointment. One of your squad members had reported your actions. Snitch! After several months of scrubbing the floors as punishments, my duties ended and I went back to civilian life. More me and narration. Okay, people seem to like it. 1931. How old am I now? I was born in 1908. I'm like 21 or something, 22. I can't do math. You and Monica decided to share your lives together. After receiving the blessing of her parents, a ceremony was held in Holy Sword. During the same year, you worked hard to secure a high-paying job at the governing United Swordland Party. I guess it's the party that exists. Dirty Joe and me. It was much more difficult to start your career on a good foot because of the refugee incident, but you still managed. Oh, so I have reasons why I'm working for the party. Working for the ruling party was the easiest path to power. I do like power. The financial compensation was too great to pass up. It was the best opportunity to change the country for better. I don't think the last one is true, because I don't like the United Swordland Party. I don't like political parties that are led by military officers, as a rule. So it's between one or two. So either it's because working, which is fine, that's a true fact. I may not agree with the party's policies, but like being part of the party might lead me to get into power, at which point I can change things. Or money. I think I'm gonna pick one. I want power. Is it right or left? I have no idea. I think it's a big tent party, as it often is. But I don't know. I'm gonna pick power. I like power. You became the foreign policy assistant to the one more experienced member of assembly. I worked long and hard, staying late at work, reviewing dozens of foreign policy plans. I was climbing the ladder. Do you actually like power, or do you just dislike negative personal outcomes? Oh, I do like power. I want power. Out of context. No, that is in context. I want power. September 1933. Seoul strengthened the republic by removing the institutions and symbols of the former kingdom from society. No, fuck. There's a part of me that wants to do monarchist. By the way, the kingdom's been gone for 10 years and we're only now doing this? Okay. Can I declare myself as emperor? I mean, it's the 1930s. I think it's gonna be hard for me to do that, but I want to do it if I can. Things were also looking up for the country as the massive economic boom continued. We liked that. People were happiest they had been in a decade. Election time came and it was decided. President Tarking Seoul was elected once more. Well, the country seems to be doing okay. In preparation for the most April 2nd, 1934, the preparation for the most comprehensive trade agreement with Agnolia was occupying most of your personal time. But your significant contribution to the trade talk triggered an invitation to meet President Sarkintol himself, who offered you a key position. You are to become the youngest member of assembly. Ooh. Ooh. I don't like this guy, but he's giving me power. I'm gonna have doubts. I don't know why he's doing this. He has a plot. I worked there for 5 years. June in 1938. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with the influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you brought Peter as your right-hand man. The birth of your son Frank provided a brief moment of joy and relief. What? These are my options. I can sacrifice one for the other. Make the president your puppet. Sacrifice work to spend time with my family, or sacrifice family to improve my position in the party. More than a little bit gay. We're all gay here. I'm not gonna sacrifice my family. October 1941. During your absence, Peter found trustworthy contacts and strengthened my position in the party. Oh, cool. So Peter just did the work for me. Thanks, Peter. At the same time, President Seoul increased his authority over the years. See? Fucking told you. His growing ego caused strife within the party. The cracks began to show. Oh, he keeps winning elections too. Like Seoul's second election win, third election win, fourth election win, fifth election win in 1945. President Seoul barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader. Over the past year, people were growing discontent with corruption and the worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for a united Swordland Party Congress became louder as the leadership struggle started to brew. You... Oh, I joined the internal opposition. I don't like this guy. As we have established, I'm gonna join the opposition and I'm gonna take power. You gave your support to Evald Alfonso, a reformist and talented business magnate who was the main contender for party leadership. Well, I mean, I guess it takes time. Meanwhile, in a desperate effort to secure votes before the Congress, President Sol was meeting party members one by one. I'm just figuring that. Oh, well, good on you for figuring it out. Supporting capitalists over despots. Well, I'm guessing I'm doing some political finagling here and just supporting people who will do that. So he approached people one by one, but he didn't approach me. F. August 1946. The party congress was nothing short of impressive. The banners of the United Swordland was decorating every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists, and benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting for party leadership began. Well, I'm gonna support the guy I have decided to support. Tarkin Sol has not approached me for any benefit. I'm going to support the guy that's maybe give something to me. September 1st. The efforts bore fruit as the contentious leadership votes was won by Evald Alfonso. During the Congress, Sol announced his retirement from politics. You knew the structure he had established was to stay. The country had become increasingly authoritarian. I mean, I'm happy that he's leaving. I'm not necessarily happy about his replacement. It's a bit like the recent American election. I'm happy he's leaving though. That seems good. October 15th, 1946. A month later, my daughter was born. Monica named her Diana. She motivated you during a tumultuous period in the party. The general elections were approaching. The United Swordland Party was under the new leadership of Evald Alfonso. So I can either join the party effort and campaign for him, or I can do my best to not help him. I don't like him. He's a capitalist. During the general elections, the main opposition leader was embroiled in a sex scandal with his secretary, diminishing their chances. The extensive privatization program proposed by Evald Alfonso secured an election victory for the United Swordland Party. Over the next years, I want to make Swordland a better place, but I don't think it's going to be one under Alfonso. And I don't want to dedicate myself to the party, so it's between 1 and 2 again. But I think I'm going to have to climb the ladder. I want power! The presidency of Evald Alfonso saw many bold reforms, but was followed by a serious economic recession. Who could have guessed? The other parties announced their bids for the 1953 election, but the unfair system hampered all opposition to win. I don't care about the party. I can make my own party. I don't care. I don't care about. I care about the economic recession. Together with Peter, your presence in the United Swordland Party grew, and you became the face of a new wing in the party. I effectively took over the leadership as President Alfonso lost control of the country. The moment to make your move had come. You bribed what? I'm gonna blame Alfonso for the crisis. Yeah, because he caused the crisis, because that's what he does. Okay, blame Alfonso. I'm gonna blame him. Screw him. This is like a first timeline beginning of the game. Yes, the game hasn't even started yet. This is like the backstory for my thing. January 1953. The media backlash prompted President Alfonso to reshuffle his cabinet, but his most inner circle abandoned him. The party eventually voted you in because of my charisma as a leader. Following this, you announced that you would be running for president in the general election with Peter as my running mate. It was my turn. Power. October 1953. After visiting every city and town during the campaign, I made a speech on state television. I promised to... Oh, I don't like this. Because now I'm in charge. Now I want the power. It's promises though. It's not binding. Hey, thank you, Hazy's Live, for hosting. Thank you. What do you think? Elections in the military government? Yeah, like, but do I preserve that military? Like, I'm gonna, let's promise reforms, but not the reforms they think. The people are tired of empty promises. We need fundamental changes in our institutions and government. A solid and transparent democracy awaits us. Brothers and sisters and babies, a new constitution and a new age is upon us. I don't know, how much I like that? Are you like leading a country? Yes, currently we're doing my entire life story up to the point where I become party leader. And eventually president. November 5th, 1953. I'm 45 years old, I guess. On election day, millions went out to cast their votes. It was time to face the truth. What if I lose? Game over. I picked the wrong options. I really enjoy my videos. Thank you. Unique and enlightening. My new video is the best thing I've seen in a while. Keep it up. I'm really happy with my most recent video. Thinking about the TikTok. If you like my most recent video, you're going to flip your wigs over my next one because it's even better. Okay, as Anton Rain, you've made many promises to keep to the people of Swordland in order to gain their votes. They must be considered very carefully. Swordland's economy has been based on a planned doctrine since its formation until the former president Abel Alfonso enacted free market reforms. Now the country finds itself between two economic systems. Well, the free market doesn't freaking work, so we're gonna do planned economy. Diplomacy. The intensifying global rivalry between capitalist Arcasia in the west and the communist United Cantana in the east is opening new diplomatic possibilities. Swordland could take steps to align itself closer to one. Nope. We're going independent. Immigration. In recent years, Bludish, Vezek, and Angolian immigrants flocked to Swordland due to released immigration laws enacted by Elval Alfonso. As a result, tension in between swords and immigrants have been increasing. We are going to keep immigration relaxed. Term focus. We've also promised to focus on a certain extensive subject within our first term. The people expect us to solve negative situations within this topic while providing an overall improvement to related policies. Health, education, law and enforcement, or military. Since the 1940s, the difference in the service education in urban and rural hospitals has been getting worse. So health has been getting worse. Schools have been getting worse. Yeah, because we did free market reforms. It doesn't really do that well. How recent? In terms of my most recent video, the one that just came out. I don't really remember though. The Bangtan conference. Law and enforcement has been more crime. We don't like that. If I do this, can I like do as a reformist? Maybe. The military practice and some see it as a massive financial burden, while others argue it is a critical deterrent. Let's focus on health. It's either health or education. I feel like it's the most important. Let's do education. Because if we boost education, I heard somewhere, has like the biggest return on investment because people become educated and then they can go on to like spread that knowledge and like improve other areas of society as well. So like people can become doctors and then the health becomes better. People go on to become judges and then the law enforcement becomes better. People go on to become like officers and then, yeah, we're gonna do education. Your promises will be remembered and they will have consequences. Yes. 2 weeks have passed since we won the election. And now I was about to be sworn in as the 4th president of Swordland. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name, Mia Mulder. Jagda est. And there my story began. In the distance, the maroon... Oh my god, they have like lore. Oh my god. Oh, I love this. Oh, lore. So this is like a big palace. turning point the kingdom. So the kingdom was there, and now it's like a big palace that looks maroon. And that's where the center of the executive branch is like. So that's where I live. The Hill of Pride was named during the declaration of the Kingdom of Swordland, when thousands of countrymen started proudly singing their anthem of Swordland. Okay. I love this. I looked at my family. My son and daughter, Frank and Diana, were next to Monica, my wife. Her eyes were glimmering with pride. And that's me, I guess. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Nice. God, I love streaming. Oh yeah, Yeetedest. This is true presidential portrait. Then I turned towards the key people who made it all possible. Of course, each individual was promised an important position in my cabinet. Who is this? Orso Hawker, Chief Justice. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Orso Hawker, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, was waiting for me. The time for the oath has come. It has indeed. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Swordland, and to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the people and the Constitution of the Republic of Swordland. You may now deliver your inauguration speech, Mr. President. It is an honor, sir. Swords. That seems nationalistic. I'm not going to do that. Citizens of Swordland. Let's keep it inclusive. Well, brothers, I'm okay. This is not what is this? The year is what, 1950? I'm guessing the Anton here hasn't fully discovered that non-binary people exist. But I'm gonna say brothers and sisters and babies. Brothers and sisters and babies. They looked eager to listen to me. Unity. For many generations, this country and its long history has kept us tied to an idea. The idea of unity. And our people's right for a free and prosperous life. If we stand together. In the past, there have been times of survival, times of conflict and economic hardship, but wherever we stood together, we prevailed. I promise you that we will stop the recession and eliminate poverty. The 1929 Constitution is broken, but I don't want to do democracy. Is that turtle? Yes. Swordland is above all in the world. Yes, a little bit of nationalism. This it's fine in the game, not in real life. The future awaits us. Swordland is above all in the world. Our capacity as a nation has never been greater. Hundreds of thousands cheered. They were shouting my name in unison. Mia Mulder, Mia Mulder. I felt the responsibility, the power, and the burden all at the same time. Raise fist. Raise fist, wave, or enjoy the moment. I'm gonna wave. I took a long look at the people of Swordland to burn this moment into my memory. One of the presidential guards came to notify that it was time to leave. I made my way to the leading car in the motorcade. The presidential state car was a jet black Cadilla with flags of Swordland above the front headlights. Next to it, a man was holding the door. He's my driver, sir, yay! Oh, look at him. He looks nice. It looks like a nice man. Hello, Mr. President. Still under the effects of the speech I made, hearing my new title made me smile. If you allow me to introduce myself, I am Serge, your new driver. It is a pleasure. The pleasure's all but mine. He respectfully bowed his head before opening the car door and gesturing inside. I entered the car. We will be heading towards the palace. The motorcade began to move. On the way, Serge proceeded to explain his duties as a driver. As the minutes went by, I found myself lost in thoughts, barely paying attention to what I was saying. He suddenly made a gesture towards the now closer palace. Isn't it a beauty? The Maroon Palace. Is the game good? I don't know yet. I've just I've only started. It seems nice though. It seems very interesting. I like that there's like wealth, personal wealth. Oh, I can be corrupt. I can like see the economy. I'm guessing there are other parts like there's chapters, country overview. Like I like this. I really much want to play a game. I want to make a game actually that is like a president simulator. Like it's a grand strategy game, but you don't like do map painting and you don't do stuff like that. Like you have a map and you can do those things, but it's more about like managing a country. It's about like Victoria 2, but more deep. That's what I want. Also, thanks mday2280 for subbing for 4 months. Oh my god. Can you not be a girl boss authoritarian in this game? I could probably be. Do I want to be something other than a girl boss authoritarian? I want the union simulator. Yeah, stuff like that. Shouldn't the chat be moved? Good point. I'm gonna move the chat here. That should be fine, I think. Isn't she a beauty? She's beautiful. He was right. Sunlight glinted off the palace's many maroon-colored domes. It was so bright that I had to look away. Every time I look at it, I am reminded of my duty to this nation. It is the beating heart of the nation, after all. Well said, Mr. President. Reminded of my beauty. Like, I imagine this guy is just like total himbo. The car drove past the majestic gates, continued uphill to the entrance, and stopped in front of the doors. Okay. Drove up to the place. Serge got out of the car and opened the door for me. Have a great day, Mr. President. Amorogna wezkore. I don't know what the fuck that means. He referred to the famous sort of phrase from the times of revolution. Magna wezkore, victor zizda. Which means morning will come, victory is close. Victor zizda, I'm just gonna say it back to him. Why not? Love Serge. Total himbo driver. He's a beauty and he knows it. I made my way upstairs to the extravagant corridors of the palace. Marble and engraved wooden finishes decorated the interior. My footsteps echoed in the colossal halls. The guards bowed their heads in respect as I opened the massive doors to my new office. Whoa! So this is a map! Is this Swordland? Is all of this Swordland? I'm guessing this is not Swordland. Okay, so these things that are not in color are not Swordland. What is this? That's a country. Velen. Lesbia. Republic de Lesbia. I have a coastline, which I love. The Constitution of Republic de Swordland. Beautiful. What is this? Agnolia and Valgsland. And what's up here? Rumburg. King Erik of Rumburg. Okay. Can I do anything with these cities? City information. Oh. Population, rank, metro area, elevation. Oh my god, this is so cool. What is this? Lack of investment. Okay. Is time going or what is happening? News. I have newspapers. Oh my god. Reign's Book of Unity. President. I'm guessing this. I'm guessing the game has opened up now. That's like. Did the genre just change? Kinda. Hello. I hope I'm having a good day. I hope you're having a good day. Installation. Reign's Book of Unity. Bringing focus to people's right to free and possible life for many years. Okay. Swordland today. President Anton Reign. The new president has been sworn into office. Another great win for Anton Reign, who managed to get 37% of the general vote. I became president with 37% of the vote. Yeesh. Congratulations from the National Front Party, which is an ultra-conservative party. The runner-up in the general vote, the Liberal Social... Okay, so the centrist party didn't concede until the last minute, but the results will occur several hours in. Thousands of supporters have gathered in the streets of Deer, chanting campaign slogans, waving flags, and playing USB party banners to display unwavering support for the newly elected president. The public mood is very positive in the city, from all accounts on the ground. The city is celebrating that a Deer-born president with humble roots is now sitting in the Maroon Palace. Hell yeah, love Darren. New assembly begins. The United Southern Party won the election with 37% of the votes, while Franz Richter, the leader of the People's Party and Justice for Freedom, could just get. So he's the like the main opposition guy for the centrists, right? Kesar Kibener, the Nazi, got 11%. That's a lot. The Communist Party of Swordland and the Workers' Party of Bludia both won just below 10% of the vote, failing to pass the 10% election threshold. So they split the votes, which is a very leftist thing to do. The new term begins with the opposition of the centrists and the Nazis under my leadership, my party leadership. The unrepresented votes below the threshold resulting in the USP taking 52% in the seat of the Grand National Assembly, giving them the lawmaking power. So we have a majority. Seat numbers have been finalized as... Okay, I like this. That's good to know. The Radical, which I'm guessing is the fascists or communists, I don't know. Oh my god, Jesus. Thank you, Fox Winchester, for giving me 5 subs. Holy crap. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is gonna be great for the economy. Thank you so much. In the next election, I will win 99% of the vote. It's the 50s, no Green parties yet. Yeah, 10% threshold. I know, it's very hard. How many times will people fall for the same trap? We've seen this before with Colonel Sol. There's him, who supposedly saved the country and brought stability in the time of chaos. His stability, however, meant a life of oppression. Any opposing voices were silenced and many were prosecuted. Next was Alfonso, who was elected a liberal reformer, but inability is resigned. The third USB candidate to become president. It's a high time to realize that real change won't come from their party. It's a valid criticism from the Radical. After the recent restructuring, after the from United Cotton and Boston, the world is warming up to the idea as a source of growth and employment. But is there any truth to this success? Any of our infrastructure investments can be fruitful in the short term, but even more so in the long term, especially if they're focused on linking economic nodes that business logistics depend on. Yes, of course, infrastructure is very important. This is, however, the first step. The curse of matter is diversification of investment, where the government supports employment and growth. It is key to help private businesses with government contracts, tax breaks, and political support in order to create a self-sufficient economy and dynamic economy. So it's just telling me that, like, hey, this is the world and this is how the world looks. Oh my god, another 5-1. Thank you so much for all the subs. But it's decent. Well, I'm thankful. Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for subbing, everyone. Well, I'm guessing for giving away so many subs. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I promise to make it worth. To make the stream very good for you. Easy. I guess. Yeah, we got the plan. Okay, and Solonomics. So the Economist wants me to not do that. Our top economist analytics has to concentrate on national business costs with a comprehensive report on the performance of the past 2 years. Planned doctrine created a budget deficit and a clear reduction of the industrial production output. This was specifically due to mismanagement and ineffective bureaucracy. The year-on-year growth budget balance production index the privatization program began in 1949. The 2 most productive consecutive years. Our editorial team, with the help of So these, I'm guessing, are 2 economists. Okay, have come to the conclusion that the recession was not actually caused by a repulsive bold privatization program, but by the drastic obstructions of state executives hindering the plan. President Ray must take the advice of planned economy proponents around him with a pinch of salt, otherwise he could find himself in the same spot of Target Salt in the mid-40s. Okay, so there's some evidence maybe that the economic crisis was actually because of like a bloated bureaucracy. So they have things to say to me. I'm gonna try to take it easy. This is an exclamation point, so I'm gonna click this last. I don't know what that means. What is this? Port of Le Havre loses importance. The latest marine traffic report shows that Port of Le Havre is no longer the busiest of the Maricopa continent, falling behind the 3rd position. While this is a negative indicator for an administration, Le Havre still has the potential to shine again. Largest port of Swordland holds economic importance for the economy. Major port will hopefully keep supporting a possible economic upturn in their country. So this is like big ports. I like that you can even say, oh, dude, I love games that have maps. Okay, so this is one of the biggest ones, and I'm guessing the 2 that is like stalled port is probably pretty big too. Is there another one that we're seeing anywhere? Maybe this one, Falenko. Or Vilburn. Okay. So we read the report from there. So this is Le Havre is a big economic center, okay. The mayor of Arvory, Alec Neal, reports on lack of adequate infrastructure around Arvory, which seriously undermines the attractiveness of the investment climate. Foreign investors from Magnolia are becoming hesitant to invest in the city. 19% of the company's total investors in Ireland is supported by logistic costs, where Imperial regions is below 10%. So infrastructure. People are telling me like, hey, infrastructure is important. Low levels of productivity growth in the area, where there are high rates of food insecurity, malnutrition, and rural poverty. This will also be helped by building out my infrastructure. Valhen looks interesting. What do you have to say? Congratulations from President Smolek. He's the commander-in-chief of the Veznik Armed Forces. Veznik nationalism with socialist characteristics. Oh, he's a Nazi. Oh, so that's the civil war where I saved refugees from. Okay, so he's a Nazi. Is he a Nazi? I think he's a Nazi. He's wishing for a cooperative future between Valen and Sorla, and Sigmund decided to normalize the diplomatic relation between the 2 countries. Okay, so we're not friends. We have tensions. What do you have to say? Lesbia. Congratulations from Prime Minister Alvarez. He's a business magnate. He's one of the richest men in the world. Beneficial partnership of the future. He sends his best wishes to the Sword's people and warns us about the threats of the encroaching Malenchevist. Oh, this is communism. Okay. By the Malenchevist is a variant of Marxian socioeconomics. Support of the vanguard founding of a vanguard party of the proletariat, proletarian internationalism, and a dictatorship of the proletariat based on working class self-emancipation and mass democracy. Malianism are critical to the theory of socialism in one country, in favor of Maleniev's theory of permanent revolution. They are critical of the theory of socialism in one country. Also Trotskyist. Good to know. And then the Leninism. I think this is some sort of like Leninist, Trotskyist thing. Mostly Trotskyism, I think, based on the last line. Of the United Kontana is a federalist social republic in the continent of Kontana. It's a superpower of the world. It's a union of multiple social republics. It's the Soviet Union. Okay. It's led by this guy. Okay, so this guy doesn't like communists. Is a bit spooked. Rumburg has nothing to say to me. Fear God and honor the Queen. Rumburg is a vast kingdom located. Oh, I can see this. Relations bad. Military overwhelming. Constitutional monarchy. They have clashed with southern kingdoms due to their disadvantage. There's a grand global expansion, but lacks key resources to fill them. Okay, so we can maybe trade with them. No, stop. God, this game looks good. Velen. It's a fragile country in the mountainous areas. It's the origin of the Nurti religion. They're very hospitable. The presidential republic. People, justice, unity. Okay. Lesbia. Fortune, strength, liberty. It's a wealthy country. Its capital is world-renowned and welcomes millions of curious tourists every year. It's a parliamentary republic. We have neutral relations, strong military. It's culturally more politically more liberal. The recent government have begun to turn away from openness. It's from isolationism and protectionism, and they're a member of ATO. I don't know what ATO is. Okay. Isn't that the Brexit country? By the way, I hope it's okay that I'm reading all of this because I'm a lore whore and I need lore. Also, I'm sorry I haven't changed the my sub goal since November. Agnolia. Let's first read about Agnolia. Agnolia is a merchant nation located in northeastern Mercopa, along the Marquian Sea. It's famous for craft ships. They're very introverted. The country has been long in the shadow of Swordland by suffering territorial pressure from Rumburg, so it's a powerful democratic movement focused on change. They have a weak military, but we have good relations with them. These are our friends. Congratulations, Prime Minister Van Houten. How does he look like? There we go. Congratulated us on our elections and praised our party's stance on just and transparent elections. He signaled his wishes to continue the trade partnership between our countries as equal partners, as opposed to earlier trade deals, which he believed gave Swordland unfair advantages. Okay, so our country's been dicking these people over a little bit. Valixland. Democratic Republic of Valixland. While an influential country, it's an island nation and a major naval power. Valixlandians and their language Valgian has spread around the globe because of their colonial past. After the Manchester Revolution in 1901, all traces of the empire have been removed. Valixland is a member state of the CSP, which I'm guessing is the communist thing, right? They're a socialist republic. Okay. Congratulations. Chancellor Hegel sends... It's Hegel! Oh, fuck! Sends congratulations to your great victory and wishes for close cooperation between our countries in the future. Signal concession from Valixland. We talked about them earlier, right? Or is this Valixland? No, we're talking about something. In case of a promising trade deal. He also congratulated the Swordist democracy for the successful election, warned us about the threat of Arcasia's growing influence in Eastern Mercopa. Which were the Arcasians again? This is the Constitutional Republics in the Western Mercopa. It's going to have the superpower of the world. Oh, so this is America. Okay. Led by President American Boy. Okay. Do we have any more notifications anywhere on the map? No. We're in Holsword, which I'm guessing is the thing. Is our capital, right? It's the proud capital and the administrative heart of the Presidential Republic. It's the major capital. Okay. Logistical issues. The mayor of Holsword reports the rise in population. Fast urban expansion has resulted in high level of congestion in city traffic. The logistic report underlines increased traffic and slow transportation routes as the biggest problem in the capital. The mayor also reported that the absence of a well-designed, large, land-based logistics center where all transporters come together is one of the greatest problems for domestic transporters, because Holsord is a big metropolis. Transporters are scattered all over Holsord, having established such centers in 10 different districts. So we want to centralize transportation in things. So basically what I'm thinking is like a massive infrastructure project like along here, because they need infrastructure, we can get that. The general staff convened right after the election to congratulate our victory. The branches of the Swordish Armed Forces were represented in a meeting that took place at Camp Strongarm with massive security measures. The chief of the armed forces, Valken Kruger, made the public press statement highlighting the increasing chances of military confrontation in Eastern Markopa and requested support to strengthen the military. Maybe. How is my country, by the way? Can I check that? Country overview. Do I have a good military? The gendarmerie is armed. I can't tell if I have a good military or not. I don't know what this is. Oh shit, it's Hegel. Thank you, Hazarden, for subbing. Holy shit. How am I gonna play? I'm gonna try to... this is my idea. I'm either going to become a monarchist and declare myself emperor, if I can. If I can't do that, which I don't... Sorry. If I can't do that, which I don't think I can, if I'm completely honest, I'm going to try to become... we're going independent communism. Because I like that. I'm gonna try not to become authoritarian. Socialist monarchy, if possible. If I can bring back the monarchy in any shape or form, I want to try to do that because I think that would be a fun game. But I also want to be a socialist. Tito gang. Okay, let's briefing on the current political situation. Office of the President. Peter. Oh, that's Peter. He's my vice president. Look at him. My buddy. Arrived a couple of minutes early and sat across from me. He was struggling to hold back his smile. We did it, Anton. We won. Finally, all those games we played with the media paid off. His eyes sparkled. The strain of the past month had put a damper on his usual rakish charm, but today he was looking and acting more like his old self. He loosened his tie and undid the top 2 buttons of his shirt. Enjoying the new secretary I picked out for you? Thought you'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. Electric chair! Death for Peter! It's a shame that the rest of your staff aren't so easy on the eyes. Off! But hey, back in the university, did you ever imagine that we would be sitting here in the Maroon Palace? We have to celebrate this great victory. I don't like him. Fuck Peter. I thought he was my friend, but he's a gross person. We can just hang there until the evening. We'll celebrate the inaugural ball. No, let's celebrate that I got my hands on some. I can drink. No, I don't like this guy. I don't like him. So we have work to do. It's no time to celebrate. We've got things to do today. We can't let loose at the ball. Let's move on with the meeting. We'll be talking about our political strategy for this term. Lucian and I had a meeting with the party and the reformists. We mostly see eye to eye, but I would want to see what you think. Great. Let's go over this when Lucian arrives. I hope things are looking good. Let's say that. The door swung open and Lucian Galad, my chief strategist, walked in. He was a compact man with sharp bird-like features. After briefly surveying the room wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, and opened his briefcase in a series of quick, graceful movements. Gentlemen? The tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Damn, you're exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Lucian then turned towards me. He very slightly bowed his head. Glad to see you, Lucian. How is Lucian? He worked as a lawyer and CSO at several companies before becoming political. He's a good strategist. He has a lot of experience. He's not famous, but he is regarded to be an expert. And he was one of the first people to support me. Okay, cool. I like him so far. Anyway, it's a privilege to be here, sir. Lucian spoke in soft, clipped tones that immediately drew your attention towards what he had to say. Peter and I waited for him to proceed. We will start the meeting by evaluating the current situation. The majority of the Swords people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the Constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. Peter says, people are losing hope in their trust in the democracy. This frustration even causes some to reason with figures like Bernard Sicaz. He's a romantic communist. Okay, he's a poet and a communist. It's expected that we bring the change the last government did not. Franz Richter, leader of the reforms, believes that true change can only be done by transferring some of our power to the assembly. Wrong. I will move into the details of their demands shortly. If we lose power as the government, we won't be able to execute necessary changes for the good of our country. Empress Mia Mulder. It may create issues for us, yes. However, with the reformers gaining more popularity, we may not be in a position to stand against them. Mr. Richter managed to influence many members of the assembly to give their support for drafting a new constitution. Reformers politicians are quickly increasing in number. While the reformers wing inside our own party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in the assembly, especially if they unite under France. Okay. Can we become positivists? He wanted to be on Epstein's plane, but he's too low profile to actually get an invite. I know. I had the same thought. Okay, so I don't want to become too authoritarian, but I also don't want to like just relinquish power. Especially if I do want to become a monarchist and declare myself emperor in any sort of form like that. I don't want to become too authoritarian. I want to see if I somehow can declare myself emperor without being an authoritarian, which is going to be a fine line to walk. But I also want to do... Like, who is this guy? He's a Freedom and Justice Party. He's like a weird centrist. Who, by the way, led centrist... Okay. Can I invade the Nazis? Can I do that? I wonder how much freedom I have in this game. And here's the thing, though. I don't think I will have too much freedom, because it's like a bit of a clicky game, and like you do choices and stuff like that. I think it will be a lot decided for you, which is fine. It's a narrative experience. It's not that much. But what I do have for thinking is I would love a game like this that is like open world, like a grand strategy game. Like you could pick whatever nation that you want and sort of like do whatever you wanted with it, but a similar format. Maybe less talky and more doey, but still. Okay. They aren't wrong to agree that we need change, but we should be in charge. They could be an ally, even a goal to maintain a majority in the assembly. Our party must fall in line with the vision in the near future. We can't have a strong divide. We should be in charge. We can't let them take leadership on this. Reformers demand, they want to limit the president's veto powers, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away their rights to vote on constitutional amendments. We will shape our own future. I agree, sir. See, Lucian agrees with me. He's a strategist. The oligarchs will do better to preserve the constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allies, judges, have great influence over the Supreme Court, which would be tough to break. The court also has abrupt power over constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we cannot even change it. Interesting. I mean, we need a compromise about the balance of power structure more fairly. No, we need to break the powers of the Supreme Court and give it to me. They have too much power. We need to take every right to vote on the constitutional basis. It's absurd that unelected branch gets to vote for bills. That's just true generally. So even if I do go like democratic socialism or whatever, even like this, if I go democratic socialism or full communist, or if I go monarchist, this is true in either scenario. I can't let the Supreme Court have this much power. That's bad for everyone, really. Can I assassinate Peter? I hope so. In the game, we need to take away the constitution. It's absurd. It looks like we have many challenges ahead. We cannot allow obstructionists. We can't underestimate the situation. That seems like a pragmatic choice. We will figure this out. Our party still hosts 130 out of 250 seats in the assembly. That is power. However, to reform the constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority in the National Assembly, which is 166 votes, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court that equates to 6 votes. After we've settled our thoughts on how to proceed, we will need to talk with our party figures. Our first goal must be to get the 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, we'll reach out to the other party leaders to see if they would back our first draft, and then the last step is to convince the justices of the court. Wait, what? What are we trying to do? The entire process will take a long time, but we will start working with the Reform Committee to evaluate all possibilities for a new constitution as soon as possible. Okay, we're doing a new constitution. Do I want to give myself more power? I feel like this is where choices start mattering. I'm gonna give myself more power. It's very bold. Then we must start with eliminating the Supreme Court's authority over constitutional legislation and maybe take their immunity away. We also need to address the loopholes regarding the presidential vetoes to keep the balance for such an act. I will not limit my veto powers. Peter looks troubled. Oh, dab! Dab. He has right to look troubled. It's a little difficult to explain this case to the reformists. I know nothing about the game. I feel like in monarchist and independent communists are going to require 2 different playthroughs though. Yes, but I'm going to try to do this as a sort of like case-by-case basis. Do not forget that we were elected on a promise of extensive democratic reforms. We can surely agree on some subjects. According to initiative we made reformers, there are 2 changes in the constitution that are not open for discussion. The Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments. I can agree with that. Second, the president's absolute veto will be taken away. This can't be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. Fine. I don't actually need veto power if I have the support of the party. I have no problems with these clauses. Let's work with them. Sir, we will form a reform committee together with all parties and start reaching out to all the stakeholders in the assembly and the court for a new constitution. More information about the requests of each party and reform will be available later this year. Another important point, we must aware that the Lothenberg Group by Elon Musk, currently spokesperson, so this is like a rich person group. Okay, yeah, so it's the rich people group. The oligarch convene on this organization to analyze economic policies. According to reports, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. The group are under the leadership of Walter Tusk. I'm sure to try to bribe us for their special economic interests. We will not take bribes. I will be so fucking hard on corruption in this administration. I want to work with them. No, I won't be bought. We won't let these privileged, greedy, and snobby capitalists run the country. Let's not underestimate their influence. They are not harmless people either. As far as I know, Marcel Coronti has some strong ties to this group, and we may try using his influence if we deem it necessary. He will want something for us for sure. He's a swordist philanthropist, sorry. The largest advertising company in Swordland. He could be a good ally. Okay. The group is dependent on economic policy. They can't move a thing without us. Yeah, Coranti, if he has a large advertising agency, that could become very handy. We need to be careful with him. He looks like the lesser evil, but he can quickly turn around if to be the other way. We need to tread carefully on all sides with the power players to survive our term. I need to underline the seriousness of the situation. The military and the general staff is a powerful element in the state, and the history tells us a dangerous one too. There's a wiggle room to make structural changes like reducing their budget, but it is limited. Let's... with the Rumburg threat... yeah, the Rumburg seems to be a bit like... ugh. Drastic change of reductions needed. Nothing but drain. No, like, I don't want to get fucking invaded by people who hate me. I don't want to... I want to receive the advice of the military. Yeah, let's talk to the military at least. Just not to listen to them, but they have a very biased and narrow opinions. Patriotism shrouds your minds. General Kruger is a specter of the past. So he's the chief, okay. If I strongly against the military, the two will unite against us. I agree with Lucian. We need to tread carefully with the military. Precisely 30 minutes. This concludes our political briefing for today. Our next media will be about media strategy. Talk to you later. Interesting. Journal. I declared my intention to work with the reformers for the constitutional reform. Yes, but I'm... if they don't do what I say, I'm just gonna end them. Briefing on the current economic situation. Wait, is this a new turn? The fuck? Law? What? Reform committee. Okay, so we have a reform committee. Okay, okay. Oh, there's a secession movement going on. We have limited movement, so there's a backlog in the court. The Bluedish problem. We have millions of Bluedish people living in our borders, and they don't get the same treatment as swords. Some human rights. We don't have great human rights. We have freedom of the press, though, so that's good. Bad economy. The military interferes in politics. We have outdated equipment. Large reservist pool. That's good, at least. And we have experienced generals, which is good. We have an overburdened welfare system, low quality healthcare, bad education, inconsistent curriculum, soulless education. What is that? Tarkin soul. They will be loyal to the state. Yeesh. We have corruption, illegal immigration. That's fine. Organized crime. Not good. Rumburg expansionism and a lack of allies. However, we are part of OMEC. And we have good diplomats. What is OMEC? Mercopan Economic Corporation. Okay. Interesting. So we already have more news. Holy shit. What? Committee for Reform. Yes, we're doing reform. Support an assembly for finance bill. Campaign finance. A bill to change the criteria for allocation of political funds. Only come from USB. An increase of about 28 million sword dollars to the governing sword will benefit most from the proposed bill. The new bill would give political parties an annual amount of 500 sword dollars per member of assembly. Why would we have that? It would just give us more money. It would cost a lot of money to do it. I don't like that. Rumburg coming south. Our foreign political analysis of the threat reason of Rumburg has come from the conclusion that it's very likely that Rumburg will keep trying to push further south, threatening the territories of Swordland, Velen, and possibly Agnolia. That's bad. The annexation of Dome many decades ago was just the beginning. Rumburg seems to be on the quest to secure all strategic resources in East Mercopa. So... bad. They have 121 million people though. How many do I have? Political overview. Oh my god. Old Guard, okay. So we have oligarchs, the Old Guard and reformists. The seats. Okay. She's the Speaker of the National Assembly. He's Bluedish. An independent. Interesting. And the judiciary. Support the old guards. We have 11, mostly old guards. If I have the support of the old guards, I can do a lot. I just need to convince like 1 or 2 centrists, and I would get support in there, which I don't think would be super hard. Okay. Interesting. Increasing homelessness in Bergia. That's not good. Mostly among Bluish people. Ethnic minorities. Mostly, yeah, that makes sense. So like, it's deer. That's where I'm from. Okay, so let's. This is like a poor area, I'm guessing, with a lot of ethnic minorities. Okay. Have I played Tropico? I have, and I love it. Read the opinion. Public opinion report. People's view on the need for democratic reform in the government's structure has changed over the last decade, have resulted in massive increase in the demands for democratic reforms. 55% of the population reformist ideas, which is a lot, but not that much. Let's talk about the economic situation. I don't have any more notifications. Yes, let's talk about the economic situation. We need the economy is a big thing. Simon Hall, Gus Manger, and Lydia Graf were about to arrive at the White Room for our scheduled economy meeting. This was a room in the Maroon Palace where all important meetings were held. 2 assistants arrived first, carrying a heavy projector. They stood with it by the door, waiting for the ministers to enter. From the hallway, I heard Lydia Graf's voice. She was using the patient, almost motherly tone she often took in heated arguments. Gus, do you really think that such an economically advanced area is more in need of investment than England? Lily, as my interior decided to start in, she was clad in shades of brown and beige, the only spot of color, a bright yellow nearest star in her necklace. Gus followed her close behind. Don't be an idiot, Lilias. What about the unemployment crisis in Greater Hulsord and Gesland regions they're going through? These areas are economic heartland. Gus curled his hands into fists. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development tempers hadn't changed since his days in the Alfonso administration, but neither had his reputation for getting things done. His far-reaching networks of connections was unlike any other. Simon Hall quickly stepped between the 2 ministers without looking at either at them. He is the Minister of Economy. He cleared his throat. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm very well motivated, Mr. Rain. It seems our ministers are feeling the same. Just as expected. I can clearly see that. It's great to begin. How are you too, Gus? Oh, sorry. Oops. It's looking good, sir, although there seems to have been a lot of work that requires attention, especially about lifting people out of poverty. Certainly a challenge. I'm feeling certain confident about the current state of affairs. We've already begun reconstructing local governments and introducing new safety measures. Off to a good start. Good. I'm confident in your abilities. That is appreciated. She's my Minister of Interior. Is she a reformist, though? Socially conservative politics. Well, that's good if I want to go monarchist, but I don't think I can. I kind of want to go like independent communist, if I'm completely honest. I think that's going to be the thing that I can do. Now I would like to show you the latest economic situation. My staff and I have comprehensively analyzed every aspect of interrupted by a groan from one distance by the door. Both of them are now visibly struggling to hold up the heavy projector. Above below the painting of President Sol, the assistants placed the projector next to the table and installed a white screen on the wall. Leave now. I mean, thank you. Leave much. Okay, so Simon has some bossy energy. The assistant left the cabinet room. Simon had never had quite a way with people, but his facility with numbers had made him most sought-after economic specialist in Swordland. He always carried documentation around him with him. I'm not gonna yawn. That's so freaking rude. What happened to the new police station construction in Estfjord? He paused for a moment to answer. It got stalled due to government property boundary issue. I have been meaning to look at it. I can take care of that one. Estfjord needs all the security help they can get. Sure, more time for me to spend on analysis. And he finally found the slides they were looking for. There have been some developments about the Swordfish Wren losing further value today. So that's what it's called, our Wren. We've been looking to stabilize it with the central bank. The recession of 51, which is very recent, I think, put enormous pressure on the economy, resulting in the collapse of the value of our currency. The entire situation was a significant cause of concern for our administration. What would you like to know about our current situation? What is our unemployment like? Unemployment has skyrocketed and 16%. Inflation is a relatively high 7%. That's not unmanageable. Unemployment is increasing crime and drug use. We need to get people off the streets. The inflation isn't helping our average citizen either. How is our GDP in debt? Our current GDP is 310 billion Suzerain, and the national debt is 427 billion. That is a lot. It's still hard to fathom that we nearly lost 150 billion in wealth. The past 3 years were tough. What's the status of the recession? The economy has been in a recession of about -6% in the past year. The average GDP has dropped from 15,454 sword per capita to 10,000. That's a lot. The administration's success depends on our ability to stop the recession. The sooner we can reach GDP growth, the better. Simon scattered the paper stack in front of him in an orderly manner and took a final look at his notes before clearing his throat. As you can see, the situation is alarming, but not everything is negative. The extensive privatization program by also left us a large budget surplus which we can use to stabilize the crisis. Well, maybe that should have gone to fixing the homeless problem, huh? Maybe that should have gone to fix the homeless problem. Alfonso? Ya dick? Like, the country's falling apart. There's massive recession, but of course we have a budget surplus. Maybe that could have gone to tackle homelessness, the debt, the infrastructure problem, the education problem, the healthcare issues. But no, we need to apparently go into austerity. I hate Alfonso, the previous president. I already hate this person so much. One of our main promises was to promote planned economy to stop the recession. To be frank, don't think it was a good idea. Sucks. We shouldn't go back to Solonomics. It's the reason of the recession. Sucks. Self-sufficiency will help us in tough times. True. Well, we don't need to be completely self-sufficient, but we can at least like not do complete free market economics. Economics was bound to fail. Okay, so I don't believe in a fully planned economy here. I believe that we should at least have like heavy economic regulation. The more of the economy we control, the better we can manage the recession. There's a fair argument to be made, but if we reduce the freedom of people in the marketplace in general, it would hinder innovation and dynamicism in the supply and demand equation. There's a lot of buzzword there, Simon, you nerd. Say what you will about Alfonso, without his attempts, our current coffers would be empty and the recession would be a depression. You don't know that. One way to be remembered positively is to cause a recession and leave a few bills behind. See, Lilia's, yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. The structural problems of the Solonomics were going to lead to a recession according to the predictions at the time anyway. Either way, even if we pick one of the doctrines, we retain the options to make economic choices on a case-by-case basis. Thank you. That is not recommended from my point of view. The last thing we need is an economic plan. That makes sense. There's another important point to make the superpowers. We have done well not aligning ourselves with any of them. Good. Economics isolationist poly could only work if we were to reap the benefits of both spheres and the rivalry. This is very dangerous to attempt, but still possible. We must be very cautious. There are schemes being devised about Swordland. We cannot give in to their wants now or in the future, otherwise our country will turn into a pawn, and that will not happen. Swordland will not be controlled by other nations. We will stand strong and show an example to the world. I hope we won't regret this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Minister Wishy will be in charge of informing you of those types of foreign relation policy decisions. We must first decide our internal economic plan. It's a lot of building up to something here. Simon could have a great conversation. Yeah, with Peter. Simon put forward a legal document outlining the possibility with working economics. The cabinet looked at me. Would a planned economy focus bring us stronger allies? It would make United Canton and diplomatically look at our country in a more positive light. They are proponents of the planned economy. The influence Arcasia, America, has on the world is extensive. Our economic strategy should be based on internal reasoning, though. What's our long-term economic schedule? Picking a construction company, trade relations, tax reform, and welfare privatizations and international would be some of them. We must choose violently and remember the free market economy in all forms is the future of the world. Okay, Gus. Who are you? He is the only member of the cabinet who managed to retain his position from the Alfonso administration. Of course he was part of the Alfonso administration and wants to defend that guy. He's a member of the United Switzerland Party. He's a successful businessman. Okay. He's made major investments in America. Okay, so that's why he wants to do everything there. He holds ownership in a football club. He's famed for successful agriculture policies and credit for the long-awaited development of the rural regions of Switzerland Minister. Okay. He eventually gave his support to me. And he is he's also the most experienced in the administration. Okay. Reading is a pain. Well, that is why I just finished a 5.5 long video. What are we playing this evening? We are playing Suzerain, where we are playing the president of Swordland. Can I just not pick? I'm just gonna let's move on. Let's go for planned economy. State planning and regulation showed great success in the 30s, only for a limited time, until even Turk himself discovered the limits of the system. The slowdown began during his rule. What are my final thoughts? Critical institution must remain in state control. A market economy doesn't require as much guidance. It could help us attract foreign capital. No, critical institutions need to be in state control. Like we need free healthcare, free education. Like consumer goods, sure, go for it, whatever. But anything else? Few could be. We must fully be responsible in delivering services. Few could be, and it wouldn't be negative. But either way, wouldn't make the choices. You make the choices. So, what will our economic plan promote? Planned economy, as we promised. Not sure if we made the right decision there. Gus looks worried. This sucks, Gus. Big old nerd. Big businessman. Fucking Bloomberg ass. No, this is the clarity and decision. I will work on a good plan accordingly. This concludes our meeting. At our next gathering, we will talk about the upcoming infrastructure investment plan. And they have dispersed for lunch. So it's still like morning. It's still the same day. Oh my god, there's so many. Why do I have a thing here? Invest in mega infrastructure. That's something that I want to do. How is our economy? We have 3 in budget. I don't know what that means. The economic development is low. Well, we need to spend money to make money. Couldn't resist the president and me multi simulator stream. Listen, it's what we do. Bloomberg ass. Morna. Unemployment. England. What do you think we're gonna get from England? We need more infrastructure, perhaps? Infrastructure reports. Reduction in trade traffic. Yeah, England needs infrastructure so freaking bad. Like more than anything. Promising agricultural growth. For the first time in years, there's been agricultural growth. Farmers are accessing more generous credit allowances from the government that were left over from the Alfonso administration. We're subsidizing agriculture like a lot, which is, I guess it's good, but we need to focus on heavy industry too. Like we can't just do this. How are our relations with Velhin though? Neutral, cool. I wanna have good allies if I can. Independent of our economic policy. Infrastructure report. Bad. Infrastructure is bad. Okay. What's our news saying? Economy meeting. Yes, we had a meeting on economy. Freezing temperatures recorded. Don't go outside because it's cold. Nationalist violence. -20 has been meeting with paramilitary style in Arvery. The man because he was ethnic background an Agno sort of citizen. He was approaching and walked by a right-wing extremist who were for the front for the National Front Party. Let's ban that party. The man was brought to hospital. There's no place for attacks in such country. Cover army restraint. Can I ban the party? I fucking hate Nazis. So you two saw the tweet about how to turn 600 stimulus bill into millions to Gene's appointment. Yeah. Armadine Industries, pioneering electronics. Pocket radio with Arcasian Electronics in Verson City. After 6 years of researching, the president of Arcasia tried to work praised the brace manner of Russian engineering following the investment and called for further technological advancement for the military-industrial complex. Yeah, that makes sense. American ass. Okay, well let's... What is new here? Promote planned economy. Yes. We have a stagnated production. That's not good. We're still in chapter 1 though, which is I think is interesting. What are our notes? Ooh. Okay. And this is just settings. Okie dokie. No. Let's talk media relations. With them, with those two. Let's begin. Mentioned that Marshal Contari contacted me. Really? The Corontis has always been known to be the richest and most influential in the world. He was the son of the industrialist, richest man in the entire Swordland. He has offered to meet with you, Mr. President. Why should I meet with him? He's a capitalist pig. Hey, thank you, Zamiel the Hunter, for subbing. What a good stream this is. I have a lot of subs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. May he rest in peace. Marshal Ames becomes the next savior of the Hoss conglomerate. Heart of Swordland is a multi-industry corporation worth tens of billions of things. He mentioned a productive collaboration. They are a powerful and influential media conglomerate. To start with, they own the Swordland Today newspaper, the Swordland Broadcasting Corporation, the Swordland. It would be nice to have them on our side. What does productive collaboration mean? He wants to meet in person. They have substantial power of the content and media outlets, headlines, radio shows. That's what he would be offering. What he wants in return is what we need to understand. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Can we just nationalize it? Fuck it. Who cares? I have far less expertise in that, but have been in religion preparation for a meeting today. There are two ways we can approach the media. One of them is by influencing it, which has clear advantages, and the other is keeping it independent. Let's keep the media independent as much as we can. I am in favor of state-owned media with subsidization, but with subsidization, but like not control. Do you know what I mean? Like I like government-funded radio. I like NPR. Public radio. I like public radio. Public media I think is good, but it needs to be subsidized so it remains ad-free, so it's independent from capitalist interest. If it's well run, I think it works way better than in pure, fully independent media, because fully independent media often has to like sell ads and shit, which just sells it out to capitalist interest, which doesn't actually do anything either. It seems like I think that would bite you down the line. Yeah, but like I don't want to control the media. I don't want to the media has to be independent. Even if I do become authoritarian or something. Well, I don't want to be authoritarian. I want to be if I do go down the commie route, I do want to make it free and democratic and free type of communism or socialism or whatever we end up doing. But the media must be independent, in my opinion. Ideally, yes, but an unpopular leader will not be able to pass even the easiest of reforms. It is of utmost importance to maintain the public popularity to avoid damaging scandals. The more people we have on our side supporting our agenda, the more we can accomplish. Yes. I see what you're getting at. We can easily hope for the best. Do we really think that nothing can go wrong, especially considering the near-term history of Swordland? Please, come in. Oh, it's my secretary who Peter is sexist towards. Livia is my private secretary. Okay. Her dark curls bounced as she crossed the room to my desk. She spoke with a slight lilt in her voice. Excuse me, Mr. President. Mr. Galad's secretary has been calling me and wanting to relay a message. Marcel Coranti, the new CEO of House Conglomerate, is on the line from Mr. Galade. Well, the ball's in our court now. Would you like to talk to him, or would you like me to? I'll talk to him. Pick up the phone. Hello, Marcel. I do not respect you. Okay. Hello, Marcel. Greetings, Mr. Rain. I know your time is valuable, so I will not waste it. I was just elected to be the CEO of Haas. My strategy in running this conglomerate will be different than my father's approach, which is why I'm offering you a partnership deal regarding our media branch. I would like to formally invite you to my resort near Contreat for a meeting to discuss the details. Trap, definite trap. It's a trap. This is a trap. This is a trap. Like, just from his eyes, like from just his look at me, you can tell that he's inviting me to his private resort, so he can like trap me with some like pictures, like paparazzi, to trap me in a scandal, blackmail me to do what he wants. No, you can come to my house. Surely we can't talk about details over the phone. I just want to have a face-to-face conversation. I have to refuse. You can come to my house. Thank you for this, non-regardless. Good luck in the future. Click. I hope we made the right call. We should focus on other things anyway. Like, the media will still be against me, but at least, like, so Beatty's gonna murder you. Like, I know. We're not out of time. We will continue where we left off later. I expect you to bring better potential allies to the table who aren't freaking like oligarch assholes. Codex entry added. Interesting. I have no other notifications. What did the news say? Korath Coranti passed away. That's his dad. Glamorous inaugural ball. The whole sort elite gathers for a lavish state ball. Many citizens in the country are uncertain about their own future, but the state has no problem with wasting taxpayers' money right from the start. We demand that these traditions of wasteful nature will become a thing of the past once the president settles in. Okay, so The Radical, I guess, is like a lefty magazine. Swordland's regional trade. As the reign of minister started the first time, there is a question in all of our heads. What will the regional international trade policy? Due to the strategic geopolitical location of Swordland, historically, Angola and Velen has been natural trading partners. Depending on the new direction of the Reign administration, we think it's likely that the new trade will be broken with at least one of these partners in the near term. All in all, regardless of which trading partners the administration decides to go with, one thing is for sure, regional trade will boost the economy, which is true. What does Valixland and Lesbia think about Swordland? So Agnolia is like the people I think I'm going to trade with most. Which was the other one? Was Lesbia? What was the other one? Valixland, no, Velen. Oh, so I trade with Velen. Oh, I trade with the Nazis. But I'm guessing they're not Nazis, they just look like Nazis. Nationalist Party of Nerd Socialism. One party state. It's a member of OMEC and the Alliance of Nations. Oh, the UN. Cool. I don't know if these are Nazis or if they're like hard tankies or something. I don't know what this is. The old cask of Amontillado gambit. Okay, what's the next meeting? Campaign finance bill. I don't care. We're gonna do infrastructure first. But let's see the party committee report. The reform committee. Any potential changes in the committee. Strong opposition from the National Front. The members of the Assembly in support of such direction will be in the great numbers and possibly make up a majority. While members of the United Swordland Party seem to be reluctant about supporting those changes. Okay. So let's do mega infrastructure. Oh, this is just what I can do. The Minister of Economy has put forward 2 bold plans for infrastructure that would help. Investing in projects of this scale will take up some portion of a budget, but could prove worthwhile if accomplished successfully. Well, let's hide this for now. This, first of all, England has infrastructure problems. Lachaven is like declining as a port, because I read their fucking reports. And we need to like boost infrastructure generally. Like that's a big problem for us. So let's invest in mega infrastructure. I don't know what mega infrastructure means. Government budget has decreased. Discussion on the infrastructure project. Let's do that. Let's talk infrastructure. The view towards the Marking Sea from Lachaven was nothing short of exquisite. The seaside state residence, fittingly named the Blue Mansion, was large, fine, and accommodating. But we are not here. We're not here to talk infrastructure. I had not had a chance to have my afternoon tea. I left my mind adrift for a couple of seconds. Simon's voice brought me back from the ongoing discussion. Mr. President, we need to focus on boosting the economy as quickly as possible. One of the fastest ways to achieve this is through infrastructure progress. Agreed. That's why I decided to invest. They're Nazballs. Yeah, I'm guessing they're Nazballs. This game is basically about paying a Baltic state. Basically, yeah, I think so. Or something of that nature. On one hand, businessmen are complaining about the slow logistical rail network between Holsord and Lachaven. Where's Holsord? That's the capital. Okay. On the other hand, citizens are criticizing. So businessmen want connections to the capital, but citizens are collecting between Racaport, a highway connection between Lachaven and Arvory, which is up here, which is having the infrastructure problems. The narrow roads by the seaside are not only dangerous, but difficult to traverse. We need to pick the citizens and their demands matter the most, and it will also boost the economy from the bottom up. It may take longer, but it's going to work. The dire situation on the road infrastructure between Lachaven and can't be neglected. The return on investment will be low. Our concern should be economic growth. It's not the business of people that suffer, but the ordinary folk. Can we do both? I have more budget. We must prove our administrative capabilities. The people must know that administration can get things done. I've defined 2 important projects: the highway project or the high-speed rail. The ministry can only support 1 project at a time with current capacity and budget. So which one do I want to hear about first? Okay, the highway project. The abysmal state of the road network in England region bordering Agnolia. The area is home to several million Agno-Sordish and Sordish who feel neglected. There's no proper highway connection to and from England. The mayor of Arvory has been asking for a bigger budget to develop the regional infrastructure. He told us that even trucks are having a hard time traversing the main road. Infrequent traffic is causing trouble for people commuting in and out of the region. So here's my thought. As we can see, there's no like big road. I'm guessing the red is like the big road. If we can do that, we can connect the economy of this entire area up to the nation's trade network. That's how I'm thinking. There's already highways here. There's already like stuff going on. There's even a train lane still going. It's slow, but still going. So there's a limited amount of growth, I think, that can be held from here. If we lift up this entire area and the 3 towns that are here, we can make so much more growth. In my opinion. I'm playing as Generalissimo, yes. We can't leave the requests of a party member. This could also hurt the local businesses. And it must be cumbersome for citizens. Look at the map. The H3 highway route starts here and leads to Lenkberg. From there it goes all the way to Arvory. As a result, the road networks toward Agnolian capital Stalport will Stalport will improve successfully, which is good for trade. So the central government continuously neglect the Agno-Sorge dominated regions when I was mayor. Is its administrator going to continue that kind of negligence? We should no longer neglect a key region for our trade with Agnolia. We should make Agno-Sorge citizens respected as swords like all of us. I am for sword citizens without separation of preference, or therefore should think about the country overall. It hasn't been pointed out that the highway would be less beneficial in the near term. It will increase the speed of transportation throughout the region. Our citizens will be quite pleased if we successfully accomplish this. Besides, if we enter trade with Agnolia, which I want to do, they would see the investments as a positive sign. See, so it's good for trade too, which the rail would not do. I have settled on a decision. I'm gonna do this, I don't care. The poorer regions, yes. It's not that hard. You will be able to award the contract to a corporation of your choice. The ministry estimates that the entire construction will finish in 2 years if every step of the going forward is executed successfully. Thank you for your contribution and your thoughts. See you soon, Mr. Rain. Have a nice day, Mr. President. Okay, so we're building a highway now. Because if we expanded infrastructure here, that would not bring us trade. Trade is good for all of us, and more infrastructure connectivity would be good too. But train, good, car, bad. I also want to have trains here. Maybe I can do that later. Maybe I can just build a train line. There is train lines up here. Maybe we can connect Stallport to our train line down here, thus circumventing the expansionists in the north. I just wanted to stop by and drop you say you love my videos. Thank you. I love to hear when people love my videos. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're building a highway. That's good. We're making change. Campaign finance bill. The criteria for the allocation of public funds shall no longer be according to the number of votes won in the general election by a political party. The new criteria shall be the proportion of seats won by the political party in the assembly. Political parties shall receive an annual amount of 500 Ren per member of assembly. This results in a doubling of the USB election budget and a slight increase in the other party's assembly, while effectively removing all funding from parties that are below 10% threshold. So it would remove it from the communists. I should put all my money in rigid airships, in dirigibles, yes. I don't like this. This centralizes power. And I want to centralize power, but I want to do it with consent of the people, not because of like voting. And also this will increase spending. I'm gonna veto it. President vetoes bill after a majority vote on Friday. Franz Richter, who also objected to the funding package, saying it contained too much unfairness in the allocation of the budget, I agree, also sought to delay proceeding by phone control, but was overruled. The bill passed the assembly but failed to become law by my decision. Unfair campaign finance bill law crushed. The leftists like me now. A new bill that further expands on the unfairness of our election system has been approved by the Grand National Assembly and was later vetoed by President Rain. He deserves credit for crushing the endemic credit, even though it came from his own party and would have benefited himself. The bill sought to change the political rules of eligibility of public funds that are reserved for every political party in Swordland. It eliminates every party from eligibility to the funds, apart from the 3 that are currently in the assembly. The insane proposal would also have resulted in governing United Swordland Party's share from the funds to increase double. Luckily, the president has shown that he can go against his own party when it needs to be done. Hell yeah! Invest in Arcadian company stocks. I don't have... How much money do I have? It's still turn 1? What? Jesus. Okay. Oh, personal wealth. A personal investment opportunity has been relayed by Mr. Manger. Who is Mr. Manger? Oh, he's the guy I don't like. An experienced stockbroker in Venture City, Arcadia, America, is selling valuable shares in Armadine Industries, an up-and-coming electronics manufacturing company. We could invest or let the opportunity pass. I only have 1 personal wealth though. But let's buy some shares. I mean, I get paid from the government anyway. Like I don't need savings. Maybe I can earn some money and invest it in my country. Invest in the Soviet and Arctic cruisers, Jesus. Reception at the inaugural ball. The presidential guard had arrived to take us to the inaugural ball. Is it still the same day? I'm guessing all of this happened in day one. The ball was a 3-decade-old tradition, breathlessly anticipated by politicians, bureaucrats, and the press. The eyes were about to be on me. I called Monica. How's my wife? That's my wife. My wife. My wife. To get the children bloody. After looking in the mirror, I straightened my tie and took a deep breath. After tonight, there would be no turning back. Suddenly, Diana hugged me from behind, startling me a little. Monica had fixed her hair into an elaborate braid, woven through with ribbons. That's my child. Papa, Mama told me it's time to go. Hello, darling. I am ready. Where is your brother? I think Frank. Oh, he's a whole ass adult. Still upstairs. It was almost time to leave. The big ball was starting in less than an hour. Where is my first lady? Monica comes down the stairs. She was wearing a simple yet elegant beige sheath dress and short heels. Her hair had been neatly pinned into a chignon, showing off the pearl earrings I had given her for her 15th anniversary. All those years he had stayed by my side. Now we were about to begin the most challenging chapter in our lives yet. How do you do, Mr. President? I will embrace my wife. I like this game. I'm allowed to hug my wife. Brainstorm too much. It's okay. You don't have to. You can watch whenever you want to. Whenever you want to. If you can watch as much as you feel able to. How do you win the game? I don't think you do. I'm gonna embrace my wife. Now where the hell is Frank? Where's Frank? Monica, my love, you look as gorgeous as the day we married. Now there's that charm that got you elected. Franz trudged down the stairs. This thing itches. Tugged at the collar of his new tuxedo. I'm glad to have you with us for this big night. I'm role-playing as a character who loves his family. Any game that allows you to hug your wife is a good game. I know! I'm just dying to go. Are these people going to be around us from now on? Pointed at the presidential guards at the door of the house. These people are our friends. Sort of the most important family needs extra protection. Well, I don't want to like put my own family above every other family, but I mean they are the most important family to me. These people are our friends. It's alright. Nothing happens to Papa. Frank stopped abruptly and said, Dad, do I really have to go? Can't I just stay home and masturbate instead? Don't make me... Holy shit, I can be a real asshole. Our wife. I'm nervous myself, Frank, but I'd feel a lot more confident with my son at my side. He smiled reluctantly. Well, when you put it like that... Let's go. The presidential guard showed us the way to, as red and blue lights flashed around us. Serge, my driver, the himbo, urged us into our armored limousine. The motorcade started moving towards the palace. I gazed out the window, deep in thought. Anton, what are you thinking about? We've come a long way together, haven't we? And there's so much we'll accomplish side by side. No matter what happens, the children and I will always be here for you. I'm gonna help Papa fix everything. Frank rolled his eyes. I know you will, honey. We'll see, darling. The convoy slowed to a halt. Serge rolled down the limousine's soundproof partition. We're here, sir. I hope you enjoyed the drive and my stunning good looks. Much appreciated. How are you today? I'm as good as it can be, but today's your day, sir. I'm happy you're in charge now. I like Serge. Like, he's the best guy. He grew up close to deer. He comes from a poor background like me. He's the most experienced driver. Search, 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 search. You know, my entire family voted for you. Thank you and your family. I'm here with all your support. You're the one who sparked a glimmer of hope in us all. Serge opened the door for me. The normally imposing palace was festooned with garish banners that nearly made it look cheerful. A line of shiny luxury sedans stretched around it. Politicians, bureaucrats, and celebrities, the creme de la creme of Swordland elite, streamed inside the building. Good luck out there, Mr. President. I'll see you on the trip home. I stepped out and immediately found myself surrounded by loud voices and camera flashes. Hordes of eager journalists thrust their portable microphones my way. My guard fended out most of them off, but one woman managed to dodge them and corner me, stabbing me in the neck, killing me instantly. Game over. I recognized the Sword Broadcasting Company logo on a press lanyard. Mr. President, Mr. President. Do you plan on working together with the opposition parties on the expected constitutional reforms? If the opposition is willing to support us. Mr. Richter clarified that as long as you hold your promises of democratization, they will support you on these issues to the end. What do you think about that statement? I can't comment since I haven't seen the statement yet. One more thing, one of his first items was to veto a campaign finance law that would have deprived small parties of public funds while increasing those channeled to your own. Are we seeing the beginnings of a more egalitarian administration? I've had it with your questions cards! Serge will save Swordland. He will. Shame you can't survive Serge. I know. I want to make Serge my VP. Yes, no political party deserves to be silenced except for the fascists. That's enough, ma'am. At the time, a dozen fireworks went off. And I got PTSD and fell down because I lived through a civil war. The entrance was decorated with beautiful ribbons of Swordland's colors of white. We entered the lobby and joined people. Peter, the asshole, there we are, the most beautiful family in Swordland. Uncle Peter! You two are growing faster. Are you sure you got any wiser? Because you haven't. I'm still sticking with you. Peter's vice Evelyn. Congratulations, Anton. I had to say, the results were clear to me from the beginning. Is she okay? Is she an asshole? She was expelled from defending a person. She defended this person. Who is this person? Oh, Alfonso. Okay. Well, we both worked hard to make it happen. And tonight we reap the rewards. God, I hate Peter so much. We didn't know. Hope you showed the same enthusiasm at the job. He seemed uncomfortable. The real work begins. Daily trip to the salon to look your best for foreign dignitaries. I plan to use my power as First Lady to advance the position of women throughout Swordland. Equal rights for sex are long overdue. What did you say, Anton? God, as long as you don't burn the roast. Absolutely. We're having a conversation here. Yes, of course, darling. I am sorry. Move to the ballroom. We made a big crowd. Politicians who wants to appease me. Joining various conversations, some serious, some making speeches. We finally settled down at the dinner table with the veterans and the band started playing some slow jazz. Oof, that was tiring. We have to get used to it. Well, loud banging noise echoed from outside the ballroom. Uh-oh! Hello from a simp with poor attendance record. Don't worry about the attendance record. Thank you for the bits. Also, am I being assassinated on day one? As soon as Monica heard the word, she lunged from her seat. I will shield my wife. I knew it. We never should have gone. Chaos broke out. Some guests flung themselves under their tables, and others ran towards the door screaming. Diana burst into tears while Frank tried to comfort her, hiding in the fear in his own eyes. 3 more gunshots rang out loudly. Mr. President, the chief of police. Oh, you're all right. Carl Grizzler, head of the shortest police force, was running towards us with 3 more police officers in decorated uniform, and they had their guns drawn. As soon as made it to us and saw that we were unharmed, a big sigh of relief. Thank God. Status report. Check the perimeter. Paul, Jensen, follow my lead. We will bring to the safe room. He turned to don't worry, the situation is under control. Well, give me a fucking status report. We promptly followed Carl through the winding halls of the corridor. His men had gun drawns. We did nothing to ease the tension. On their way, they made an attempt to break the silence. What a fucking night. Can't you shut the fuck up? Carl flipped a switch on the wall and a panel opened, revealing a hidden staircase leading to a large reinforced door. Inside, a set of emergency lights flickered on. The safe room was comfortable and spacious, with expensive-looking leather sofas, of course, because everything about this government has been corrupt. Small security monitors on the wall displaying grainy footage of each room in the palace. There was a boardroom and pantry containing enough provision to last us months. Monica and Evelyn sat the soul down and started wiping their tears. Carl stepped away from us and made a few radio calls. When he was done, he returned to me and Peter. Do I have clowns for a security force? So what's the status? Crack of life. Every second felt like an eternity as I pressed his ear to a receiver. He turned off. We're not in any danger at the moment. The situation has been dealt with and the perimeter has been secured by the guards and the police. He glanced towards Monica, if I may, sir. He gestured toward a more private corner of the room and started speaking more quietly. This is what we know so far. We have confirmed that 2 people were gunned down in front of the palace. The gunman is one of them, and we are sure that he was working alone. The attacker fired 3 shots at an MP, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, instantly killing him. Presidential guards at the palace immediately shot and killed the attacker. The gunman has not been identified yet, and will require an investigation. The MP that was killed was identified as Bernard Circus. The communist! The communist poet! That's not great. This will cause a lot of problems. But that's okay, because we're gonna become it's not okay, guy died. But we're going to be communists. So I mean there's going to the left is going to be really angry at this, but that's okay because we're gonna appease them anyway. I mean it's probably a Nazi who killed him, right? So let's just ban the Nazi party. Mumbling that we should have stayed at home. I'm going to comfort my family. I'll make sure everything's going to be fine. We can't be sure of anything anymore, Anton. At all costs. I cursed the cigarette on the ashtray. Rain open to talk. Yeah, I'm saying that, but I'm not really. MP shot, nation in shock. Sordland has been shocked by the grave news. The Red Youth. The fact that such a violence happened at the capital's inauguration has been reported by many citizens. The Red Youth has reported to promised revenge. This seems like the potential spark of what could swirl Sordland into political violence of the 20s. That's not great. So what is new? The highway. Okay. I have no money. Yet. Emergency meeting. Yes. Security room. Yes. Oh, actually, we have a report. Security increased. So we're in a security alert because of the situation. Not Bernie. What rights and state powers do I earn as #1 bit later? Welcome to your new power as Secretary of the Interior of Swordland. I've never heard of this game. Seems tough. It's interesting. I've never played it before, and I never heard of it before today. So but it looks super interesting. It looks to me very much like one of those games that are good for people who like grand strategy games, but in a very different vein. He was shot dead at 9:03 p.m. in front of the palace gates. He was an elected independent member of the assembly and, as you know, a famous communist. She spat out the words with some distaste. Well, sucks. The guards at the scene were 50 meters away and immediately took action by responding and killing the assailant, who was identified as a member of the nationalist organization Young Swords. Very much wearing... Okay, the references here are not very hidden. Okay, so let's ban it. Ban it. I don't care. Ban it. What were the motivations for such a horrid act? They have been threatening communists for a long time. A dangerous atmosphere with the left versus right political violence of the 1920s might start again. It would be devastating. The coup are the one reason why our country stagnated for a decade. Niha sighed for a while. Who is Niha? Is that my secretary? No, it's Secretary of Justice. Interesting. The Red Youth have condemned the killing, but didn't stop there. They promised the revenge. They will in turn spark further aggression from the Young Swords. This whole cycle started because Bernard Sakata expressed his views. We can't simply look away. You can't blame the guy. This is victim blaming. Can't do that. Nia had always been one of the only members of the Justice truly deserving of the name. She had survived countless attacks on her character while fighting corruption within the ministry, and rising to power had only compounded her sense of moral duty. Freedom of expression is part of the Constitution. We can't have anyone, let alone an MP, shot for voicing different opinions. Okay, so she's speaking in favor. The nationalist Young Swords have overstepped, and they should be put under the loop for such extreme action. This is not a simple overstep, but an attack on our country. Murder for political opinions is a thing of the past. Our administration is building something new. We will reach out to the NFP and request them to calm the situation with the Young Swords. The two groups' ties, and Mr. Kibler sees reason after all. This is the Nazi, which can't be said about the Young Swords at times. Minister of Defense grunted his approval, towered over the rest of us a full military display. With all due respect, ma'am, but we shouldn't be quick to jump on conclusions without having a full investigation concluded. Oh, of course, because the military is full of Nazis. We should refrain from making the issue a political one from the start. It will only have fuel to the fire. It is political, though, isn't it? Yeah. There aren't many sides. It's state versus the state versus its enemies. Okay. Regardless, a full investigation on all involved parties is underway. We will find subversives and punish them soon enough. I'll do my best to coordinate. Justice will be served and the rule of law will return. Only if we stay vigilant. We must think about the upcoming budget. I don't think we need to increase internal security funding. If you ban the communists, they can't be assassinated anymore. Yes, we shouldn't act reckless. Yes, I agree. It seems the tension between communists and nationalists will escalate further. It will be difficult to pass any meaningful change in the country. We can't fix the recession if there is instability. We can't pass in such an atmosphere. But we'll make it. Peter, President, right? He's like a bro. Peter will either have to be reformed or he will have to resign. The meeting concluded and the minister left the room with concerned looks. It was hard to anticipate what would happen next. Codex entry updated. Murder at the palace. Yes, he is dead. Continue. So that was day 1 of her presidency. A few days later. Ooh. A few days later, yes. A few days later. Peter's here because he's your friend. Yeah, I know. And how's the highway going? Nothing's happening with the highway, okay. Let's see. What is our reports from our villages? Police are understaffed. It's political violence, and they don't have enough officers to deal with the violence. The police is overburdened because of political violence. Illegal AK-47 seized. Okay. That's not great. Young sword youth leader dead after terror attack because of political violence. Weapons seized because of political violence. Communist Party leader suspected of a bomb attack. Jesus. What did they have to say? Smolak warns traitors. The latest diplomatic message from the leader of Wellen warned us regarding a pathway from the mountains of Berja that allowed traitors of the state escaping to Swordland. President Victor Smolak has demanded that border security be increased, and he said our best wishes handling the protests in Swordland. No. I'm not gonna do that. He can fuck himself. Well, okay, that's not really what I mean to say about that. It's more like people who are traitors to this like right-wing almost dictatorship. I feel like that's something that I can come to Swordland. Agnolia, hello. Horton critiques trade. Imbalance of trade. We're gonna make a fair trade agreement. Don't worry, we're gonna make a great trade agreement for both of us. It's gonna be fair and nice and balanced. Illegal firearm found in communist office. Okay, so the communists are arming up to really fight. God and Holzer because they executed terror attack. So oh my God, the Bluedish are also like independents. They want to have independence shit, so they're doing terrorism too. This is not great. So I can either talk to my family or I can have a situation. Well, I mean, dinner with the family or security briefings with threats against the nation. It seems like an easy choice. We're going into the cool zone, yeah. The Minister of the Interior, Liet Gruff. Sir, please take your seats. Kick off today's internal security briefing. Okay, I'm actually gonna finish this conversation and then I might end the stream because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours and I'm getting a bit hungry. I might keep playing this like tomorrow or something though, because this game rules. And it's longer than I thought that it would be. I thought the game would be over by now. I thought this game would be very short. So I'm gonna finish this security briefing, read the news, and then I'm gonna like end the stream for today. And but it seems really fun though. I like that there's like a lot of factions that I can talk to. That there's like geopolitical things going on. I like that there's like a fictional world with a history. The only thing I hope is that I can make map go change, because I don't like the Kingrick of Rumburg. I want to build up my military and like just invade them. Maybe together with Agnolia. Maybe they can take like Dome and Think Athlon and Marytown, and we can take like this area, because they're expansionist assholes, and we will create a good socialist democratic republic, or a monarchist. Republic. So, but yes, I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna save. Violence is increasing. The investigation has concluded. Great news. Members of the Red Youth initiated a violent attack on young sword leader in Jen. And the young... Oh, so the communists actually started. And then they counter by attacking Mr. Circus and then... Okay. Since he often spoke against the young swords and nationalist sentiment in the assembly, he was a big target and his radical communist views. Political violence needs to stop. We've kept it at bay. There are now new triggers. The investigation revealed a very troubling fact. The funding sources of the Red Youth have a clear link to United Cortana. So the Soviet Union is funding the left wing. Are you sure? Yes, we found the cash trail. They have communist uprising in Swordland. I like the left here, but they better not damn well be fucking with me. Uprising. Thank you for helping me figure out my gender identity. Holy shit. Thank you for figuring out yourself. I merely provided a small part. But congratulations. I hope that helped somehow. It's been such an engaging and relaxing stream. A very relaxing stream. This is like a very relaxing game. The left lacks popular support, yes. For now. I went over the report in detail. It would be wrong to jump to conclusions about the foreign interference yet. They have humanitarians and cultural ties with many countries, including Swordland. So, this person who is like high moral value is liking the Soviet Union. Interesting. Okay, let's not create an international crisis, but let's be wary of the Soviet Union. They funded General Ricard and tried to establish a communist dictatorship. They've linked the funding. The enemies of Swordland are many, but we have threats inside the country. We need, as the government, we have all the power to deal with any threat. We need to remain vigilant. If we give up essential feeling to purchase temporary security, we neither deserve... Yes. We're not going to become a security state, though. That's not what's going to happen. President Sol, God bless him, brought stability after a long period of bloodshed. Yes, sure. The highest internal threat comes from the estimated 20,000 strong Bludish Freedom Front led by the imprisoned Dwellem Arj. And we don't have an image. They are a banned political organization, now a militant force that are trying to incite racial violence. Are they supported by our Bludish citizens? To some extent. Luckily, they couldn't attract a wide audience of Bloods, but they could potentially attract thousands of anti-Bludish sentiment spreads in Swordland again. That's not going to happen because we're going to be an inclusionary. They found a lot of AK-47s. We expect that more have been smuggled in since they keep finding them. Rumburg has been acting aggressively in the region for a long time. I'm not surprised that they would attempt to weaponize the Bludish people against us. Interesting. Can we make any direct correlation to preliminary? I was undermine it, but this is too far. Yeah, fuck the Rumburgs. The grave news, but we must be careful not to stoke the fires of anti-Bludish sentiment. What is the second most important threat? It is the gang violence that is threatening the Nargis and England regions. Two prominent organized crime families are at war, and the potential for bloodshed is real. Why can't we just arrest them? Deception and corruption. They infiltrated several government offices and the police. That's how they can evade us. They are playing with fire. It will not be easy. These gangs exist because corruption is so common in our country. They buy our officers and slip by checkpoints, because cops are bastards. I shall be honest with you, with our current capabilities, we may not be able to prevent the further arming of separatists while maintaining order in Bergenargs in England. If law enforcement budget isn't increased, it can't be fully responsible for what happens. Our police units are spread thin to this. In light of, I might increase law enforcement budgets a little bit. I wish to stop working with thugs. The real problem is with corruption, which is fluctuating. A higher budget would help end that. Corruption is the root of all evil, yes. We can look into corruption once the weapon cache has been found. Kicking the can down the road. This is what's stronger institutions. I'm agreeing with Nia here. We need to focus on corruption, because that is what allowing the weapon caches to form. If we find all the weapon caches but don't deal with corruption, they're just going to have more weapon caches. I'm the best gamer girl on Twitch. Yes! Thank you for the overview. Have a good day. Until next time. Josef. General Kruger. Interesting. His tall stature, uniform, and combined with independence and stare made him look threatening. He was in the 70s, yet he had a bulky body that was a result of his commando training. Not only was he the second most decorated officer in Swordland, he was also the longest serving. General Kruger, Mr. President's an honor. He seemed uneasy with the presence of another high-ranking officer in the room. Gentlemen, let's begin. We talk to them. Mr. President, the situation at the western and northern borders towards Rumburg is very tense. We are observing deployments of division closer to our border. Rumburg has been acting increasingly expansionist in the past decades and also interfered in Agnolia, which will become our ally. Now they have turned their sights on us. I don't have anything to hydrate with, I'm sorry. This concerns me very much. Our contingency plans are ready. It seems like they want to increase the pressure both externally and internally. Please. The picture has become clearer. The latest information from the interior about the weapon caches, and now there's an active military buildup close to our borders. The entire situation was analyzed by our general staff, and our prediction is a future territorial incursion by Rumburg. Let them come, we will give them hell. I share your enthusiasm. We draw our strength from the brave sons and daughters of Swordland, but we wouldn't be able to stand against them right now. I require an increase in military budget to enlist more soldiers. Only then we can stand strong against our enemies. The enlarged armed forces will hold them at bay. Larkin is right. We do need to increase the military budget. Although we don't see eye to eye how to spend the budget, that much they agree on. So everyone just agrees that we need to defend against Rumburg. I have my concerns that we need strong allies to withstand such a resistant power. It's an understatement. Times are changing, war is coming, Mr. President, whether we like it or not, we must be prepared. During the election, you said nothing about focusing our military. I ask you to reconsider and to increase the military budget. The future Swordland is in your hands. As you said, times change, Joseph. We will see. Our forces would crumble under a decrease. We're not going to decrease the budget. Rumsburg would invade. We should find regional allies like Lesbiet and Rumsburg. There are several options on the table. Valksland. Is that the communist nation that's closest? We could ally with Valksland. They're to the north too. But we need to be able to stand on our 2 feet. We can't just Okay, so are we getting invaded? We will remain, Mr. President. There's been a Rumburgian military activity close to the Norbel border. Which would be where? Norbel. So over here. Okay, well, fuck them. We're not gonna stand down. We need to make a show of force. Rumburg is already testing us. So we have Communist, National, Bluedish, and the Rumburgs. Swordland has always been a key piece on the chessboard of global rivalry, betrayed our cards and united Cortana, but in recent years there was no such great in Rumburg. All it takes is one tiny spark. Rumburg has decided to close their console to the Lachaven. Oh, great! What an interesting save and exit. Save and exit to desktop, actually. Yes, and that is a good end. That's a good place, I feel, to end our horrifying stream. That's scary. It's a good game, though. Holy shit! Like, I think it's really interesting. Definitely has like a lot of potential, although it takes a long time to play. I may keep playing this tomorrow and see how it goes. Dab. Sorry, I can't hydrate. I have cup noodle, but it's dry as fuck. So it's a good cliffhanger. It's a very good cliffhanger. They've closed in their consulate. Let's raid somebody. Somebody to raid. I've had a great stream today. Drink noodle. Let's raid. Does it need to be online? New. Is Lottie online?
Our really cool counselor, Kimmy, it's raining right now.
A lot of people there. I don't know who to raid. Fuck. Let's raid Lottie. Everyone say Lottie. Everyone give Lottie my best. Happy New Year to all. Sorry you missed the stream. I'm going to probably play more of this because it seems like a very fun game. And I will see all of you maybe tomorrow, maybe on Thursday, depending on how things go. And stay safe out there. Have a good night.